Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me, Morphsuit America, and in this video I'll be talking about how to do ARKS Mission. Now, this is a new feature that they released in episode 6, and since I'm actually recording this video and making this video, understand that episode 6 is out right now. Episode 6, you can think of it as a new a new era for the game. It's like an add-on to the game, so you can have more content and more things that you can actually toy around with. Understand that in episode 6, these ARKS missions are very, very important because they're your new way of making money, new way of getting some easy experience and getting a bit of items here and there. So in this video I'll be talking about that. Know that if you do want more information on how to download this game and stuff, I have it in the description below. And also know that when it comes to making a 15-star weapon, if you are trying to get one, I already made a video talking about that. I will most likely make another video later, or videos later, talking more in depth about the 15-star because I kind of realized something when I was looking back on that video. However, for this video I'll focus more on ARKS Mission. Obviously, this video is directed more towards new players and returning players. The reason why I say it's directed towards returning players is due to the fact that some of the things that a lot of old players used to do, especially when it comes to getting money and actually running weekly client orders from Cletho, or even daily orders from Cletho, depending on when you actually leave the game or left the game. Yeah, Cletho's not the NPC you need to go to anymore. They nerfed him completely when it comes to doing his client orders and getting Meseta. ARKS missions are the things you want to do so you can get your Meseta now, especially the weekly ones. The daily ones, they give you incentives and a little bonus, and then there's main missions. I'll go into more details in a bit, but understand that if you already know what to do for ARKS mission, then this video isn't for you. This is what your ARKS missions will look like. Now, to pull this up, you need to hit the menu button, and you got two ways to actually get that screen open. You can either go over here to the 5th button with the world icon. You can click on ARKS missions and then it'll take you to this screen. The other method is to just pull up the menu, hit the shift button, and you can see main missions, daily missions, and weekly missions. Understand that depending on certain factors, you'll be able to have a lot of missions, or you're going to have different missions from what you're going to see when I actually talk about them. Also know that when it comes to you getting into the game, even if you're an old or returning player, or if you're playing the game right now, if you haven't really got into episode 6, they will force you to actually pull up the ARKS missions, and what you need to do to actually get the daily and weekly missions unlocked is to go through the first couple of main missions. And then once you are able to do that, these two tabs over here should be opened up to you. Now, there will be 5 daily missions and 5 weekly missions almost all the time. Now, depending on what character you are on, depending on if they completed that certain criteria or that certain mission for that day, then it will be checked mark, or it's not going to be checked mark. Know that they will reset these missions during certain times. For daily missions, it will reset at midnight Japanese time, and then when it comes to weekly missions, it will reset around 1 p.m. Japanese time. You will have to figure out when these resets will happen at your time. Unless you live in Japan, then that doesn't really matter, but plan accordingly so you can make sure that you do these daily missions and weekly missions. Totally optional, however, I advise you guys to actually do these daily and weekly missions so you can get the bonuses and the incentives that the missions will give you for completing them. Earlier, I stated that these missions will be completed at your own pace and depending on if you actually did it for that character. Now understand that daily and weekly missions once again have a fixed time rate, so you're gonna have to do them before that reset time kicks in. So when it comes to this character, you can see that she has not done any of her daily orders. However, I'm going to display another one of my characters on the screen right now, and you can see that she completed all of her daily orders. It's just that I didn't actually accept the daily orders and get the rewards just yet. But yeah, that is something you do need to pay attention to, and this kind of goes into a future video that I will make later on, talking about the pros and cons of making multiple characters. But this is a very nice feature to have, and this gives you more rewards depending on how many characters you have for that account or for your own accounts. I'm on a brand new character right now, or one of the new characters I decided to power level and stuff, and I am going to bring up this point because some of you guys may not know about it. If you are a new player, you are going to get these missions, but when it comes to these specific ARK missions that this character has, they are pretty low leveled, and it's not the same ARKS missions I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes. So as you can see, these are completely different from the ones I showcased earlier with my other high leveled characters. Understand that once they hit level 50, they actually get those ARKS missions and weekly missions that I'm going to be talking about, or that you kind of saw. Now, if you are below level 50, if you are level 49 and below, you're going to get different sort of missions like the ones I have on this character. Now, understand that these are things that you still need to do here and there so you can get something out of it. Even though you're not going to get the weekly missions or the better weekly and daily missions that your higher level characters have, this is something to start off with. Or it's going to give you something at the very least for making another character. So even if you don't get the 2,010,000 Meseta from these weekly missions, you still get a decent, let me do some quick math, 440,000 Meseta. Yeah, I think I did my math right. And that's still half of a million, slightly off by like maybe 60,000 Meseta. But anyways, yeah, pretty much you still want to do them even if your character isn't at that level 50 status. But pretty much you need to make sure that you can get your character to level 50 before the next weekly mission reset, or pretty much by next maintenance, because of the fact that they are going to be stuck with the same weekly missions until that week kicks in. I don't know about the daily missions as much. I think they scale depending on what level you are at for that day, but I might be wrong with that theory. So pretty much you still need to try to aim for level 50 as soon as possible, unless you want to go at a very slow pace and get to level 50 whenever you want to get to level 50. That's entirely up to you, and props to you for that. But yeah, that's just a heads up. Understand that these missions are different from the ones that I'm going to be talking about in a bit. There is something I do want to mention before I go into details on how to do specific things, and the next portion will be directed more towards new players. But when it comes to the weekly missions, understand that some of the missions will change. The rewards won't change. You'll still get your half dollar and 80,000 experience, for example. For this one, though, it might say make sure to use the recycle shop, or use a recycle shop, or do something specifically, but it's nothing too strenuous or too difficult. And then this one, for example, for the 405,000 Meseta and 160,000 experience, it might say complete an extreme quest. For this week is an extreme quest, but other times it might say advanced quest or time attack on super hard. You just need to make sure you read it. I think this one stays the same. This one definitely stays the same, and then this one stays the same. So just a heads up, when it comes to weekly missions, just make sure you read it properly before you start doing it, because if you just assume that it's going to be the same thing, you might actually waste a bit of time trying to complete a quest when you did the wrong quest type. Also, with weekly missions, when it comes to some of these quests specifically to complete the daily missions, 15 of them, and then the 200,000 Meseta gain one, you don't need to get all of it immediately. You can break it down so you can go at your own pace. For example, let's say you don't want to go 3 days straight trying to complete all these daily orders for this particular character so you can get your go key. What you can do is most likely do like 3 of the daily missions for that day, and then do another 3 the next day, another 3 the next day, another one, until you actually stack up to 15, and then you can get your go ticket key. The same can be said about the 200,000 Meseta order one. Instead of getting 200,000 right off the bat, you can just slowly build it up by doing a bunch of lesser client orders, and then getting to 200,000, and then getting your free 1 million Meseta. So there are various ways around it. You just need to plan accordingly and think about what you need to do. And obviously, once the reset kicks in, which is most likely during maintenance time, this number is going to reset. So if you didn't complete it during that entire week, let's say you were on 11 out of 15 for that week, and then maintenance kicks in, that thing's going to reset, so you miss your chance of getting your gold ticket key. And honestly, you don't want to miss your chance of getting this ticket key, especially when it comes to getting a lot of experience very, very quickly and power leveling your character from the higher levels to max level. The next portion of this video is going to talk about how to do the daily missions and weekly missions. Now, I'm going to most likely cut it down even further and not actually show a bunch of gameplay, but the thing is, this is directed towards anyone who is interested in seeing the physical sort of thing of what to do and where to actually do things. So if you already know what to do, for example, if you know how to take a drink, know how to complete a daily order and whatnot, then this next portion isn't for you, and there will be a time skip in the description below so you can just go to the conclusion of this video. Once again, kind of emphasizing on this, the things I'm going to be talking about is for level 50 characters and higher, because these missions won't pop up if you are below level 50. But they're pretty easy to do. This one says have a drink. Now, yeah, I did complete some off screen, but you get to see some stuff pop up. So the first one, I actually think this is actually the first one. It tells you to complete a free field, an ARKS quest, or a limited quest on super hard. Now it doesn't tell you you need to get a specific rank. So all you need to do, if you're new to the game, you can just do a free field, ARKS quest, or a limited quest. Most likely you get to do free field and ARKS quest. And the reason why I say you get to do those two is because you're also going to have to do another daily mission, which is to complete a daily order. Now there are two NPCs that can actually give you a daily order. There's this one, which is kind of like the default one you go to, especially if you're in the lobby area. All you need to do is go to the left hand side, talk to this NPC, and then pick up any sort of client order. It doesn't have to be the super hard ones. You could do one of these collecting ones. You could do like the try boost ones. You just need to pick up a daily order and actually turn it in. Even though I completed the daily order, as you can see when I was selecting her, I do not have that checked mark because I didn't turn it in. So it's important to actually turn it in. So right now I'm going to go to the cafe to actually show you the other NPC where you can actually get your daily orders from. Because let's say you don't want to go to the lobby action where there's, maybe you don't want to go to the lobby where there's a bunch of people are at. You can come over here, talk to this NPC over here, and then you can turn it in. And I'm going to actually do that right now because I have a client order completed. Bada bing, bada boom, I got it completed. Now, you can also do this in correlation with the weekly orders. I already done it for this character, but it will help you get your 200,000 Meseta so you can get your free 1 million Meseta. Now, when it comes to the next client order, it's going to tell you to have a drink. And then this one talks about a boost item or food item. You get food items depending on certain achievements you get from doing, doing certain mining and fishing levels. But you can also make some food item boosters over here, as long as you are able to collect those various things. So when you're fishing and mining, you can use those materials to actually make this or rings, and I'll make a separate video going more into details about that later. But when it comes to getting a drink, you can either do it through the lobby area or you can go over to your camp ship. Most likely I'll recommend the camp ship because when you are going to go out on the field, the drink is right behind you when you enter the camp ship, and you just need to select one of them. It doesn't have to be the fanciest one. You don't need to spend 200,000 Meseta unless you plan to, get the full perks out of it, and if you're premium. But all you need to do is get a drink and you get that check mark. And when it comes to popping a boost item, you do need to be in the camp ship for that or in a quest for that. I'm just going to pop a 25% and that's going to get checked marked. And as you can see, I completed all 5 of these daily orders now. This one will be completed automatically as long as you complete the other 4. Now, for the weekly ones, this one was at 11 out of 15, but as you can see now, it's completed, and all I need to do now is use the X-Cube shop to actually complete that other weekly client order, except I'm trying to figure out if I have something that I can trade. Now, there are, I already made a video talking about X-Cubes and photon drops and actually how to use the recycle shop to your advantage so you can get more items out of here. But yeah, this is the X-Cube shop over here. I was using the recycle shop. And I will be redoing that old video of mine, but if you do need a guide talking about X-Cubes and photon drops or photon spheres, then look in the description below. But anyways, the other 3 weekly orders I didn't mention about or didn't exactly do would be the successfully grind a weapon or unit, complete an extreme quest, and then this one. This one, once again, is straightforward. You just need to earn 200,000 Meseta to get your 1 million one. When it comes to affixing a weapon or unit, it doesn't really have to be really expensive. You can just grind something like a Nox weapon so you can get this check mark and get your free 30% ability success rate boost and your 605,000 Meseta, and then 80,000 experience, and then completed an extreme quest. Now, once again, when it comes to extreme quests, I did make an own video talking about that, but I might redo it, or I might just make a video talking about it, because I don't think I went in depth about that. But to do extreme quests, you do have to be level 50 to even do it, so yeah. But you just need to do one stage of that and you're good to go, and then you get your money. But pretty much that's it when it comes to doing these things, and what I'm going to do right now is just turn it in, and we are done. So that concludes this video talking about ARKS missions, and it's nothing too complicated. What are your thoughts about ARKS mission if you are playing on PSO2 right now? And when it comes to turning in these ARKS missions, you may want to be on something that's low leveled. Right now, I'm kind of power leveling my fighter class, even though it's at level 69, I still get a decent amount of experience out of it. And most likely, I need to go over here and turn in my daily order that I actually completed off screen. But yeah, they're pretty straightforward. What do you think? Do you like them compared to doing Clethos client orders? Do you miss Clethos client orders? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!